Coming up on Mountain News this morning, fathers on the search teams talk about what they saw and felt after they found Kenneth Howard. And an F-16 fighter jet crashed into a warehouse just outside of Southern California's March Air Reserve base yesterday. Plus, one student brought what officials believe to be meth into Letcher Elementary and Middle School, resulting in another student being sent to the emergency room.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 5 o'clock on Friday, May the 17th. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News this morning. Yesterday was another nice day that we've seen Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and into Thursday. But those temperatures are slowly starting to climb, and you're going to see that today. As I walked outside my door this morning, it was actually starting to sprinkle a little bit, which is a little bit interesting. So Brandon is ready. Let's bring him in this morning. And Brandon, the first thing I saw when I saw you was, we made it.
We did make it.
It's Friday.
It is Friday, my friend, and good morning to you. And again, it's one of those situations where that frontal boundary to our north threw a little bit of an outflow boundary off overnight. So we did get some rain. Let's take a look at it here this morning on the satellite and radar. Quite a bit of rain actually across parts of the area. Some showers and storms, and some of those still going right now as we head through the first part of your day. We're looking at live pinpoint Doppler radar again down toward the Virginia border there and Tennessee. So across the area, a little bit of rain still floating around. Visibility going to start to take a hit here with that moisture in the air, so keep that in mind. Temperatures mild this morning, 50s and 60s, and later today, app forecast, you are going to see hot and humid conditions into the mid-80s this afternoon with mainly sunny skies. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, as we celebrate the rescue of a missing toddler in Magoffin County, emotions are flowing visibly from fathers on the search teams. They talked about what they saw and felt in the time after they found Kenneth Howard. A faint cry was all rescuers heard. They knew they were getting closer. Crews carried Kenneth out to be reunited with his parents after an estimated 67 hours alone in the woods.
We was doing a grid search. We was doing a PAR status. Everybody was yelling across, and as they were yelling, I heard something distant, just a cry. And I just yelled for everybody to hush a minute, and he done it again, and I was like, I found him, and I took off running. He's here. I told him we need to get more people in this area, and he kept crying, so we finally made it up to him. He was sitting on a flat no bigger than that.
200 to 300 people helped in the rescue efforts, with many donating food, water, and whatever else was needed. Volunteers proved county lines blend here in Eastern Kentucky. Many we talked with say the rescue of Kenneth Howard is nothing less than incredible.
I saw something earlier today that said, never give up. Right when you think it's over, God performs a miracle. And I know that God performed a miracle.
Now, the response has been simply overwhelming, even to us here at the station. People flooded us with calls the 3 days they were looking for Kenneth Howard, sending us messages, asking for updates or how they could help. Those who search day in and day out say they will never be able to repay those who helped. We have received messages over the last 3 days from concerned parents in Letcher County after a student brought what is believed to be meth to Letcher Elementary and Middle School. Officials say one student was transported to the Whitesburg Hospital as a result. Because this case involves a juvenile, certain details are being left out. But WYMT's Justin Case talked with the Letcher County Sheriff about what happened and what steps officials are taking to make sure it never happens again.
It was Tuesday morning when Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Stein says his office got a call about suspected meth at Letcher Elementary and Middle School. The student's name is not being released. Officials say the student attended the middle school.
The reason we're tight-lipped with the investigation and everything that happened in the state of Kentucky, it's actually a crime, or it's a juvenile for us to release any information.
We do not know if the student is a boy or girl or what grade he or she attends. Stein says it is a shock to see this drug infiltrate local grade schools.
If there's ever been anyone in Letcher County that says we're not facing a meth epidemic right now, this proves my point.
He says the sobering fact that should be taken away from all this, drug dealers are not looking at people and turning them away for being too young. Instead, all they see are dollar signs.
We're going to talk to their kids about the dangers of drugs, and we're not going to sugarcoat nothing, because the drug dealer down the street is going to talk to them about it.
Steins talks with his 12-year-old daughter about things like meth and what to do if she sees it. He urges all parents to have that same conversation.
I think the parents need to educate their kids on what meth looks like. Show them pictures. Get online, show them pictures of what meth looks like. Make sure that they understand if another student or another kid has anything in the school system, to go to the principal immediately.
School officials say one student was taken to the Whitesburg Hospital following the situation. They could not, however, comment on the student's condition.
It can happen to any kid that comes from good home, bad home, it doesn't matter. You know, drug addiction or drug use does not discriminate.
Stein says he is keeping a stronger law enforcement presence at the school as the investigation continues.
Now, Sheriff Stein says the student involved and possibly others could face charges through this investigation. He says he is working with the school board on a grant for more school resource officers for county schools. An F-16 fighter jet crashed into a warehouse just outside of Southern California's March Air Reserve Base yesterday. Officials say the pilot ejected before the crash and was not hurt. They also say miraculously there were no injuries on the ground. Investigators say the plane is assigned to the Air National Guard. Yesterday, flags in Kentucky flew at half-staff to honor a Fort Campbell soldier who died in Syria. Private First Class Michael Thomason died last month. The Army says his injuries were non-combat related. The 28-year-old was from suburban Detroit. Thank you for getting your day started with us right here on Mountain News this morning. May is Melanoma Awareness Month, and one UK football player is sharing his story with the disease.
Some scattered chances for rain will linger this morning, but after that, we crank up the heat this afternoon and this weekend. I have the latest forecast in about 3 minutes.